The weekend is right here with lots of activities to catch up on. But before then, let's serve you the best and brightest breakfast show on the continent. Welcome to Breakfast Central, reaching you live from Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Felicity Ezewike.
And my name is Olisa Chukuma. Good morning, Africa. We are set to bring you the latest top stories, news and insights from around and beyond the African continent. It's Friday, the 18th of June, 2021. Let's start the program with a look at the headlines. Well, Zambia's founding president, Kenneth Kaunda, dies at the age of 97.
Former Ivorian leader Gbagbo returns.
Also, the benefits of eating healthy breakfast. We'll tell you how and why.
Newspapers review.
Plus, how to maintain your mental and physical health. Quite important for everyday living. All that and more on Breakfast Central. Many thanks for watching. It's Breakfast Central on News Central. Let's start out going straight to Zambia, where former president and founding father of the nation, Kenneth Kaunda, has died. Now, KK, as he was popularly known, was being treated for pneumonia at the Minor Soko Medical Center, a military hospital in the capital of Lusaka.
The 97-year-old was one of the last surviving figures from the anti-colonial struggle of the 1950s. Now, the liberation hero ruled from 1964 after the Southern African nation won its independence from Britain.
Now, for more on this, our Zambian correspondent Lydia Makina found in this report.
Breaking news in Zambia. Zambia has lost the first Republican president, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, who died yesterday on the 17th of June, 2021. His son, Mr. Cambery, confirmed his death around 2 p.m. yesterday, that he died after his short illness. He died at a local hospital. So Zambia has lost a great leader, and we see that he died at a local hospital. It tells to say Dr. Kenneth Kaunda was a man that embraced a local facility. Even during his lifetime, he never traveled abroad to seek medication or anything. Instead, he embraced and loved what was produced locally, and he has died at a local hospital. He was a man that really believed in Zambia for health facility. He was a man that had love and care for not just Zambia, I would say, or the African countries. We see that Botswana is also mourning the first Republican president, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. Said that Dr. Masisi declared 7 days of a national mourning in Botswana. So we really appreciate that Botswana is mourning with Zambia over the death of Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. Dr. Kenneth Kaunda was not just a great leader for Zambia, and he was also a great leader for SADC countries. We say that he helped South Africa get independence. He also helped Zimbabwe, also helped Botswana, he helped Namibia, he helped Angola and Malawi. So we see that he is a leader that is being remembered not only here in Zambia, but also the neighboring countries. Is a man that had love and care for African countries. Zambia has 72 tribe, yet Kaunda brought a slogan that goes "Tiende pamoja n'umutima umoja," we move together with one heart, and that it is one Zambia, one nation, regardless of what tribe you belong to. So he is a great man. He was a great man that brought peace and unity for the nation. He became the first Republican president from 1964 to 1991. He ruled Zambia for 27 years, and during his time made sure that Zambia became a better nation, and there was peace and unity in the nation. And the most loving part about the first Republican president was that he was in good relationship with all the presidents that took over after him. He had a good relationship with the late president, Dr. Frederick Shuluba. He had a good relationship with the late president, Dr. Levi Patrick Mwanawasa. He had a good relationship with Dr. Rupia Bwezanbanda and the late president, Dr. Michael Chilufya Sata, and even the current president, Dr. Edgar Changwalungu. So Kenneth Kaunda never disregarded any president that ruled after his leadership. So he was a president that was for everybody. He was a leader, a father to many nations. He was a father to each and every citizen in Zambia, and he preached about peace and unity in the nation. He said that his wife, Mama Betty Kaunda, died in 2012 September, and the president, the first Republican president, also died yesterday on the 17th of June 2021. We still continue mourning our first Republican president, and it's really a sad news to Zambia. And the Republican president, Dr. Edgar Changwalungu, has declared 21 days of national mourning. We also see a message of condolence from the United Party for National Development, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, who has passed a message of condolence, has also told his political party not to campaign in any way as we are mourning Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. So it's really a silent moment for Zambian. It's a sad situation for Zambian as we are mourning the death of Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. That's it from my side. It's back to studio.
Right. Thank you very much, Lida Makina, our correspondent out there in Zambia. Big news from yesterday, and Zambians are in mourning.
Some of the things she said that stood out for me was the fact that, unlike the scenario here in Nigeria, you see presidents go out of the country to seek better medical care, not using what is in their country. But one thing she said is that he never left his country to seek medical attention, which is something that should be celebrated aside all the many other accomplishment he has had. Something else, again, this is on the fun part. He's already a tall man, but he keeps his hair in a particular shape. If you see all the pictures, his hair is always, so add just a couple more inches to his already...
We remember him for his white handkerchief back in the days. He always waved it and had the slogan of one Zambia, one Zambia, one Zambia. All right, so we say, we commemorate with those people, people of Zambia, yes, and as we mourn the passing of a big African tree. Yes, Kenneth Kaunda. Thank you very much. Still more on Breakfast Central.
Now to Zimbabwe, where the country's popular composer, novelist, and nationalist father, another death this time, Emmanuel Ribeiro, he passed on at St. Anne's Hospital in Harare yesterday at the age of 86. Now, the Zimbabwean Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services Permanent Secretary, Nick Magwana, confirmed the death.
Now, Father Ribeiro was a one-time Assistant Chaplain General of Prisons in the country Zimbabwe and was a member of the committee which penned Zimbabwe's national anthem and was part of the committee which designed, yes, Zimbabwe's national iconic flag. Now, Father Ribeiro composed more than a dozen Roman Catholic Church hymns. Another passing of another African great. Still more to come right here on Breakfast Central. Now to Ivory Coast we go right here on Breakfast Central. Well, former President Laurent Gbagbo has returned to the country for the first time since his arrest nearly 10 years ago following his acquittal by the International Criminal Court in the Netherlands. Now, the 76-year-old arrived at Abidjan yesterday to the cheering of crowds and supporters. Now, thousands also took to the streets of Abidjan, where there was heavy security presence to celebrate his return.
Gbagbo, who was in power since 2000, was sent to the Hague-based court in 2011 after some 3,000 people were killed in a months-long conflict that followed his refusal to accept electoral defeat at the hands of incumbent President Alassane Ouattara. Now, he was charged with war crimes and crimes against humanity, but was acquitted by the ICC in 2019. Judges, however, upheld the ruling earlier this year, paving the way for his return yesterday.
Now, Gbagbo's return has been seen by some as a test for the country and a population that is still reeling from the bloody conflict, which is still fresh in memory, with some saying that there are concerns that it could again destabilize the world's largest cocoa producer. Meanwhile, the former president's opponents, who demonstrated outside his residence in Abidjan yesterday, maintained that he should be jailed in Ivory Coast and not given a statesman's welcome, as we saw yesterday. We'll continue to follow that story.
Yeah, it depends on who you ask. There's real mixed reaction, and he also has a 20-year sentence that he is yet to respond to. We don't know what the government is saying, whether he is going to take that sentence or he will be pardoned. Well, we will go to our newspapers now. The headlines. The Sun newspaper in Namibia first. Namibia, beg your pardon, chairs pockets 72K for 5-day job. I'll take that again. Namibia chair pockets 72,000 Namibian dollars for 5-day job. That is a huge one. We also have the COVID numbers alarming. That's another one on the Sun.
All right, so let's take in the southern part of Africa, moving away from Namibia. Let's go to South Africa with the Sowetan with the paper. So lots going on in the Sowetan this morning. Inside Gauteng's public healthcare system, as it says, provincial hospitals' third wave intake passes halfway mark. It says overburdened nurses are not coping with workload, says the union. More on that on page 4, and also on the front page of the Sowetan this morning. Quite a big one. Netflix stars likes of Lani and featuring on the front page with Yvonne Chaka Chaka, Brenda Fassie and Yvonne Chaka Chaka for this Netflix celebration, talking about Sowetan 40.
DJ.
Yeah, the young stars are injecting modernity to the iconic moments that defend pop culture back in the 1980s. So these two ladies, that's Nosolo Dandani and Kosin Gene, Blood and Water channel legends for Brenda Fassie and Yvonne Chaka Chaka. Quite nostalgic, you have to say.
Yeah,
also,
I just couldn't help but chipping that one.
Also, they've also gone with the KK hailed for helping SA during apartheid, because he was one of the founding fathers and fighters in the liberation post-colonial era and post-apartheid era of South Africa, and alleged rhino poaching kingpin executed. All that and more on the front page of the Sowetan in South Africa.
Let's head to Nigeria now for the Punch newspaper. The big one there is NBA or Your Fault Buhari's Grazing Roots Gazette. There are two riders to that story. The first one says, land under state governor's control, not president, says NBA. SAN, that's SAN, I beg your pardon. Western region created farm settlements, not cow roots. That's Makinde speaking. At the top master, above the top master of the paper, pick 2023 presidential candidate from South. Shekau tells APC. New electricity law underway, says Senate. Return of fuel subsidies disturbing, that's IMF tells federal government of Nigeria. And there's something from Nati at the top of the paper. Nigeria made $34.22 billion from oil in 2019. Let's talk about that picture on the front page. Very sad story coming yesterday. The students that were abducted, the Punch is reporting bandits overpower policemen, kill cop, abduct scores in Kebbi Federal School. There are apparently pictures of the scene afterwards there on the front page. Suspected headsman kill police escort, kidnap 4 Chinese contractors. Not such great stories from Nigeria at the moment.
All right, still in Nigeria with the Daily Trust this morning with in terms of press freedom, quite a disturbing one with the press council bill which has been going on recently. And it says President Rep set to ground newspapers, and there's also comments from the IPC, MRA and others saying don't infringe on press freedom. Although there's a picture of President Buhari with soldiers wounded in action during his visit to Borno yesterday. So there you have it on the front page of the newspaper in Nigeria, the Daily Trust. There's still more to come right here on Breakfast Central. Do stay with us.
You're still watching Breakfast Central on News Central. Don't forget you can follow us on social media. We are on Facebook and Instagram, and you can stream live on YouTube. Catch us live on Star Times, channel 274, and on Avo TV, channel 23. Now, sometimes, no matter how important your goals are to you, it's a struggle to bring your best efforts to your gym session or wake up the motivation to make it happen at all. But whether you're trying to lose weight, train for a race, keep your stress in check, or any of the other worthwhile reasons to make fitness a part of your life, staying consistent is key, even when you really don't feel like it. I can relate to that one. And then, of course, you need all the motivation that you must get. And that is why we have our guest, Maje Aide. And he's been doing this for many years, helping people develop and maintain healthy body. Maje is the managing director, Eden Lifestyle. Welcome to Breakfast Central.
Good morning. Thank
Good
you for having me.
morning. Good to see you. Okay, let's just get on with it. You're a very busy man. You've been doing this a long time. How do you create a balance and still maintain consistency?
Well, it's pretty easy. It's because I love what I do. You know, it's an easy business for me because it's basically just my lifestyle. I realized I was passionate about exercise and fitness, and when I started living in Nigeria many moons ago, I saw this gap in the market. Like, look, there are just not many fitness facilities. People aren't really taking their health and fitness that seriously. So it was something that I really leaned into about almost 10 years ago now.
That's some consistency. That's what we just talked about. People have this, after a while, you get laid back. You need to motivate yourself to get moving. How do you get people in your facility to be motivated?
I think it's really starts with mindset, and I ask people how they feel. Are they happy with their lives? Are they content with where they are? Are they happy with their physical appearance? Are they happy with their energy levels? Things like that. That's, I think that's easier to get people to dial into the health and fitness lifestyle, as opposed to just tell them, oh, just go exercise, just go work out. I focus on the internal. So my viewpoint is leverage the body to get to the mind, because it's not just physical fitness, it's mental fitness as well, mental health. They're both connected. You cannot separate the two. So as you start to get fitter, as you start to exercise, you start to feel the mental benefits as well. So I really try and focus on the internal.
There's some people who say, I've never been to a gym before, but
a lot of people.
I do take my exercise. But there's a difference when you have somebody you've paid a price, so you can go to the gym at whatever time when your time is scheduled. But for those who don't have, like me, that don't have any gym subscription, what do I do?
Well, my organization teaches you body weight exercises. And when the pandemic struck, we really had to switch and, pivot into home exercises. So body weight exercises are just as effective as going to the gym. All you need is a space in your house and gravity. That's your resistance right there. So people find it a lot easier to exercise at home sometimes. Yes, you do get a lot of motivation going to the gym, but it's also sets up a barrier for yourself. It gives yourself excuses, Oh, I can't get to the gym today. It's too far. There's too much traffic. I can't afford my gym membership.
No excuse. You must
exactly.
Get to
So
it.
there's no excuse. That's the bottom line,
Let's talk about the place of diet. Some persons feel that, in order to get a certain physique, you need to avoid certain meals. While some people say they eat whatever they want and they still exercise, and that's enough. They don't need to restrict the kind of meals that they eat. What is your perspective on that?
Lucky them. For those that can eat whatever they like. But no, food is medicine. Food is life. It's something that we do probably the most consistent every day. So you really have to pay attention to what you eat. And my viewpoint is that if you are eating the wrong types of food, it will drain your energy. You'll feel more tired than anything. Food should give you energy. So try to eat more natural food, less processed food. And I think it's really just about being mindful of your portions, because we all kind of know what we need to do. If you're sitting there, eating a full meal at 11:30 at night, right before bedtime, it's wrong. So, nobody has to tell you that, but it's really about taking control. This whole journey is about discipline. Yeah. And that's a hallmark of success.
I think when you put that discipline in exercising, it translates to other parts of your life. But we need to get there. Some people still have challenges.
I don't judge anyone.
Build a routine?
I don't judge anyone. The truth is that some people are stronger in other areas. You got people who maybe the corporate type, very, very disciplined when it comes to work, but falls apart when it comes to exercise. And when it comes to that's a weak point.
So how do you now get like a routine that suits your kind of lifestyle? Like for those busy executives you mentioned, they might not have all the time to go to the gym, engage. So how do you determine the best routine for your clients?
I have to tailor things to suit your lifestyle. Are you somebody that travels a lot, stays in hotels, always on the move, or are you working from home? You have a more sedentary life? Are you kind of chained to your desk more? It just depends on your lifestyle. We'll build it around that. But the point is, everybody has the time to do this. There's nobody that's too busy to exercise. It's about where you prioritize it in your mind. So how important is your health to you? Because one thing I can tell you is the moment you get sick, nothing else matters.
I must ask you this though. During the pandemic, a lot of businesses were affected.
Oh yes.
How did it impact your, I know you do other things, but when it comes to the training, your center and all of that, how did it impact, and how are you thriving in spite of the challenges of COVID-19?
A big part of my business is in mental health care. Okay, and this is preventative medicine at the end of the day. This is what fitness is. So we were already pivoting into a virtual world before the pandemic struck. It's something that I felt like if your business is not going to people's phones, then you're not ready for the new world. So we were already moving in that direction. So it seemed very natural for us as the pandemic struck. So we weren't really affected that badly by it. To be honest, yes, we had drops in numbers in terms of actual people signing up for fitness because there was confusion all around. People were like, oh, exercise, no, we're just...
That's not my priority right now. We need to do it if we're going to survive.
We need to hoard and everything. So, it was... But as the world started to adjust, then things started to pick up again. But what we did see was a big spike in our counseling cases. People being stuck at home. It took a real mental toll on people. So from the corporate perspective, we had a lot of sign-ups for our EAP, which is basically a counseling service that we provide to the corporate world.
I must say thank you very much for joining us in Breakfast Central this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
And have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
All right, we will be having another guest. We move now to Olisa for the next conversation.
Wow, thank you very much, Felicity, and big shout outs to your guest there, because I'm really looking to get him back in the gym. He's giving me so much, motivation to perhaps get my corporate busy lifestyle routine into exercise as well. Thank you very much, that one. But let's move away. Before we get into that conversation, there's an interesting one, Felicity, we would like to talk about today on Breakfast Central. Now, there's this, confusion or perhaps discourse around dreadlocks and Rastafarianism. So I really wonder what people make about it. But on this one, well, people enjoy right here on Breakfast Central. Dreadlocks and Rastafarianism, well, let them find out. Enjoy.
Natural dreadlocks is unique, especially in some African countries where they ascribe to them some supernatural abilities. In the same vein, in some communities, people with dreadlocks are often discriminated against.
Okay, now let me put it in perspective. I've been harassed in Ghana for over 40 years. I lived as a Rastaman in Lagos in the 80s. Came back home in the 80s. So since then, I have, and truth be told, I've seen a progressive warming up of the public towards Rastafari. So I remember in the 80s when we came back from Lagos, even if you're sitting in a public bus and there's a vacant seat by you, hardly would somebody want to come and sit next to you. But thankfully now, people are a bit more receptive to Rastafari. In the past, if you're a Rastaman and you grow dreadlocks, it's very likely you'll have to leave home because your parents wouldn't accept you, wouldn't countenance that. But increasingly, we're seeing more youth, more people who are within their families, but they're still Rastafari. And beyond that, I think what has made even dreadlocks more attractive is that a lot more of the general public who are not Rastafari inclined are wearing dreadlocks. So you have a lot of ladies who are very well qualified, competent ladies, they're wearing dreadlocks. And then you have some young men who have lived abroad and they see dreadlocks as a manifestation of that, their African identity. So they're wearing dreadlocks. That's why I'll say that progressively over the past 4 decades, I can testify that the reception towards Rastafari has improved significantly. I've dreadlocks, Rastafari, and then Rastafari who is not dreadlocked. Both of them are equally Rastafari.
At times, fashion enthusiasts design dreadlock styles as a form of trendy outlook, not minding the spiritual virtues or vices which some believe to be inherent in dreadlocks.
Rastafari, from who is a follower of fashion, and that's why I said it's the faith. A Rastaman has certain principles they uphold, and somebody who is just wearing dreadlocks will not uphold those principles. For instance, every Rastaman testifies that His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I is Christ in his kingly character.
Stylists describe dreadlocks as a Rastafarian hairstyle in which the hair is washed, uncombed, twisted while wet into tight braids hanging down on all sides. Interestingly, Rastafari or the Rastafari movement is a religion which developed in Jamaica during the 1930s. It is classified as both a new religious movement and a social movement by scholars of religion. It is not just a hairstyle.
across the length and breadth of Africa, dreadlocks is intrinsic. When I was in Nigeria, you people used to call it Dada. Those children who were dreadlocks, they were called Dada in Nigeria. In Ghana, we have what we call Okonfo. So the point is that dreadlocks is an African tradition, and Rastafari is just doing a 360 back to Africa to identify with this tradition.
To some people, dreadlocks are the coolest things to possess, the highest form of self-expression. To others, it's a question of identity. Most Rastafarians belong to this group. On the other hand, to some, dreadlocks are a nuisance, and whoever spots them is regarded as a social rebel.
To me, I don't like it. I can't allow my children to use dreadlock, to do dreadlock. I can't allow it.
Personally, I dislike dreadlock. Although some people like it, whenever I see someone that has it, initially it's mad people hair. It's mad people hair, but now it's rampant. Everybody, even our Christians, brothers, sisters, they are carrying it. So you cannot differentiate. A first impression matters a lot.
The present century where we are, a lot of people say a lot of things. But for me, I don't see it as a kind of bad thing because I believe that the main character of a person comes from inside.
I like dreadlocks. I like people with dreadlocks. And people with dreadlocks are beautiful.
I was born with rough hair. My hair was rough, so I had to since it is rough, whenever I cut my hair, when it grows, it will look rough, so I have to do dread, that's why.
I'm also not telling you to buy the dreadlock or montan. But when she will wear the dreadlock or montan. And if you got a dreadlock, you come over the as a fine boy, big boy. Well, I say, look at that, when she dreadlock. When you go she dreadlock, everybody knows she dreadlock instant. One of them I show you. So everybody is a tough.
It's time people start to delink Rastafari from cannabis use and also stop that stigmatization.
Whatever it is, many varying opinions will always surface so far dreadlocks are concerned.
Quite a controversial one. Dada, dreadlocks, whatever they call it. Who knows? Maybe I might start growing mine on Breakfast Central. Well, coming up next on the program. Well, Onjaba of Tunisia, she's through to the Classic quarterfinals out there in Birmingham. Right, still Breakfast Central. I'm talking about breakfast. It's often called the most important meal of the day. Now, and for good reason, you have to say, as the name suggests, breakfast breaks the overnight fasting period, and a healthy breakfast leads to a better day. Now, our guest this morning is Adenike Owolabi. She is the Special Project Manager of Kellogg's Tolaram Nigeria Limited. Well, Adenike, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast Central.
Good morning, officer. I am Adenike,
all right,
the Special Project Manager for Kellogg's.
Okay.
The producers of Kellogg's Cocoa Pops, Kellogg's Monster Stars, and the recently introduced Kellogg's Cornflakes. All
right, we'll come to the recently introduced one. So Kellogg's is a big global brand. We know that especially for us who take Cocoa Pops even until this day. But this new, factory and new business in Nigeria, the new upstairs and the new project in Nigeria, tell us all about it.
Okay, so for Kellogg's, we were settled in Nigeria in 2018. We came into the market in 2018. Our main purpose is to cater for the Nigerian market and also Africa at large. We're interested in feeding homes both in Nigeria and Africa. So for us, it is important that we create an avenue whereby homes in Nigeria can have easy access to breakfast, quick, fast, and easy to prepare breakfast. That is not only just there to eat. It is also nourishing, something that is actually very healthy.
All right, but what really informed, the choice for Kellogg to set up the ultra-modern factory in Nigeria?
Okay, if we understand the Nigerian market is pretty large, it's a big one for us. So having our manufacturing plant here in Nigeria is like catering to the big market. Being present in Nigeria is like being present in Africa, the whole of Africa. So we decided to choose this country because the market is thriving and it has a lot of opportunity for us.
All right, for any viewer watching right now, okay, Kellogg's has been here, they're setting up a factory. Should they know about any new products from Kellogg's in Nigeria right now?
Okay, so for us, we recently relaunched our cornflakes, which is something big for us. So our cornflakes has just been launched, and then there's this question about if it meets the global standard or not, and that is why I would want to put it out there that our cornflakes right now, it's of premium quality, and it's the standard, the premium standard, the global standard that is known across the world.
All right, so we know that relaunch your cornflakes in Nigeria, but for the normal other Kellogg's variants, the popular big brands, Nigerians can still afford them. Can they get them?
Yes. We have other variants. We have Kellogg's Cocoa Pops, we have Kellogg's Moons and Stars, which are actually very affordable and present in the market. We have them in economic sizes that sells for 15 naira in the market. So it's something really affordable for Nigerians, something they can just pick up and take it on the go.
All right. Speaking of that, Kellogg's now is in Nigeria, and we know that breakfast time, as they say, is
Kellogg's time.
Kellogg's time. The kids don't get a lot of it, and I realized that some of us who still about adults, young adults, still manage to struggle with the kids for the likes of the Cocoa Pop. So are we going to see any keen in for the adult population for breakfast? People like us, go get us, and also for the kids.
Okay. Consequently, as we thrive in Nigerian market and as we improve, we'll be releasing more variants. We'll be releasing more variants into the market and have more of our products. So we are going to give Nigerians a variety of options to have for breakfast. We don't just want you to stick to the conventional cornflakes, Cocoa Pops, and all of that. So there's more coming from our end.
All right. So you're saying Nigerians should expect more from Kellogg's, Kellogg's Nigeria.
Yes.
Yeah, and another thing that's quite important, there's talk about a drop in economy and inflation. So food prices has really gone high. What is Kellogg's doing that's really key into that? That people still have healthy breakfast like Kellogg's time breakfast time.
Okay, so for us, one thing we have to consider for Nigerians is affordability. So as much as the inflation rate is affecting the prices of some of the products we use in manufacturing process, we try to create a balance, which is why I mentioned earlier that we have the economy sachets that cater to these people. So that Nigerians,
so people different variants, right?
Yes, for all of our variants have sachets. We have them in sachet form. It makes it easier for people to afford. So it's not just, so we don't seclude the part of the population from having Kellogg's cornflakes. No, everyone is inclusive in this.
All right, now this is Breakfast Central, and we just said that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So we can say that for Kellogg's, it's pretty much a market that they're looking to really take advantage of, because without breakfast, you might not really function. So nutritional benefits, of the variants of Kellogg's, if you may.
Okay, for our cornflakes, we have about 9 nutritional benefits. It's fortified with essential vitamins and minerals that is very active for the body, helps kids stay active and alert and all of that. So it is very, very nutritious. It's very nutritious. I don't want to start listing all the nutritional elements, but I know we have 9 of them present in our cornflakes.
All right, and for breakfast on the go, for people like us who still can stick with that, going for our breakfast. But thank you very much, Adenike Owolabi, yes, a special project manager of Kellogg's Nigeria Limited, for coming on Breakfast Central. Thank you once again.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and always Kellogg's time, breakfast time, and this is Breakfast Central, so you're welcome anytime. Right, still to come right here on Breakfast Central. Do keep it locked with us. You're still watching Breakfast Central on a Friday. Now, new music, new albums, new trends, and the latest in entertainment. Well, up next in entertainment, and we have our very own Sam Dandy to give us the latest on all that. Good morning, Sam. Who's dropping the latest beats?
Let me tell you what's happening. So, Nigerian musician Remilekun Abdul Khalid Safar, of course popularly known as Reminisce, has teased his 5th album dropping soon. Now, the 30-year-old award-winning musician who has mastered the art of performing in both English and his native language Yoruba took to social media to break the news, saying his album would drop in August 2021. Now, the album, of course, will be a follow-up of his 2020 EP, Vibes and Inshallah, and his first album since 2016. Now, the upcoming album would be titled Alaye Toshe Gogo. I can't believe I said that. A name many believe to be from his classic song, Fantasy, that's dropped in 2013. Now, while that's all the information available at this time about the upcoming album, we'll definitely bring you an update, of course, once we get a lead single or perhaps maybe the features list, because I'm sure it's going to be cool. I bet Olamide is on it. I bet Olamide is going to be on it. But right, let me give you more gist, right? So, of course, Forbes 2021, I beg your pardon, 30 on the 30 recipient, Ziwe Fumudo, right, is getting her first comedy series, Nigerian Princess, courtesy Amazon. Now, according to an exclusive report by Variety, the American comedian will write and create the comedy series centered on a female protagonist and will be produced by, of course, American musician Jeanne Monáe, amongst other people. Now, news of the 29-year-old's new show comes amid report that her anticipated book, titled The Book of Ziwe, will premiere in a few months. So there's a lot happening for Ziwe herself. Now, Ziwe is born of Nigerian parents and will not only write the show, but also produce the comedy series. And I'm super excited because I'm wondering, I know that she didn't grow up in Nigeria at all, but then I'm thinking, how can she tell this story in Nigerian Princess? I'm absolutely looking forward to this one.
All right, we are looking forward to it as well, Sam Daddy. Thank you very much for that update.
Anytime.
All right, thank you very much, Sam. Now, from entertainment, let's go straight to sports. All about Tunisia's own Gbagbo. She's doing so well representing the African continent out there at the Birmingham Classics grass court tournament, and she had no problem dispatching her opponent in that one to move to the quarterfinals. So she won 6-3, 3-6, 7-6 against the lady from Canada, Leila Fernandez. So not a bad one for Africa's own Gbagbo. Also talking about the world of tennis, Naomi Osaka will not be at the Wimbledon this year, but is planning to return for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Now, the 4-time Grand Slam champion withdrew from the French Open after saying, well, she doesn't want to do press conferences, and now she's withdrawn from Wimbledon and was looking forward to play in her home country of Tokyo, Japan. Plus, Rafa Nadal, the world number 3, has also pulled out of the Wimbledon, so he's not also playing. He's saying he will pull out of Wimbledon and Tokyo 2020. He's 35, and he's saying, quote, "This is never an easy decision, but after listening to my body and discussing with my team, I understand it is the right decision, trying to recuperate after a long clay court season." So no Nadal for Olympics and Wimbledon. Going straight to football, all about Euro 2020. Kevin De Bruyne for Belgium. He scored one and he can set up another as he defeated Denmark by 2-0. Well, the match was a game that also saw the tribute to Danish midfielder Christian Eriksen, who collapsed with cardiac arrest on Saturday. Also, the Dutch team with Memphis Depay, they booked their place in Euro 2020 after beating Austria in their Group C match. Not a bad one for them. Quickly, let's look at the results from Euro 2020 from last night. 3 matches were played. There you have it. Denmark 2-1. They lost to Belgium. Ukraine 2-1 against Macedonia. That man Yarmolenko scoring again, and the Dutch with a 2-0 victory over Austria. Today we'll get to see the big one, Croatia against Czech Republic. For that one there, England versus Scotland, the oldest rivalry in the world. It will be the 115th time they are playing themselves. It will be at Wembley. 22,000 fans will be allowed for that one. Keep an eye on that. And Sweden against Slovakia. There you have it for the matches today, Euro 2020.
Well, it's like I keep wondering why it's called Tokyo 2020. It should be 21.
No.
It was cancelled last year.
And it's still Euro 2020 still. Yeah, there you have it.
Well, all right. What programs will be showing today on News Central?
Business Edge at 11 a.m. You don't want to miss it with Tululokpe at Deloro Balogun.
And at 1 p.m. we have Beyond the Continent.
Also at 5:30 p.m. Basically, it will be time for entertainment with E Central.
Business Edge. Yes, that's where we will be wrapping things up. I'm so excited about today's program. It's been full and it's been rewarding.
Been packed, but also giving tributes to great African fathers who have passed away, especially the one former president of Zambia. Kenneth Kawanda will be looking at so much
Emmanuel Rivero, who created the national anthem, part of the team that created the national anthem. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah. We'll be with you next week, Monday, same time, 7 a.m. Was it? Yeah, 8 a.m. West African time. It depends on what your time is. Until then, have yourselves a great weekend on behalf of the cast and crew. Bye-bye.